Start crocheting a black kitten. Because the black yarns are not clear under the camera, we changed to gray yarns for easy identification. First, we're going to learn how to wrap yarn around our left hand. Pull the yarn and wrap it around your pinky first. Then around the index finger. And finally around the middle finger. Cross the yarn ends and press with your thumb. We need to make a magical ring fist. Get out of our crochet hook. With the hook facing down, pull through the loop. Press down on top of the yarn we've straightened. Pull out yarn. Then wind the yarn upward from the bottom of the straightened yarn. Thread through an existing loop of yarn on the crochet hook. This method of hooking the crochet hook from the bottom of the yarn upwards is yarn over. This is a starting stitch. It cannot be regarded as the first order of stitching. Keep crocheting through this hole. Yarn over and pull it out. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Continue yarning over, pulling from both loops. The first single crochet is done. It has a V shape. Usually, we put a marker on the first stitch of each turn. Pass the stick maker through the back of the V-shaped needle and fasten it. It's easier for us to remember which loop we made. The first round is a total of 8 single crochet hooks. Keep crocheting through this hole. Yarn over and pull it out. Continue yarning over, pulling from both loops. The second single crochet is done. Use the same method to complete the remaining 4 single crochets. The last single crochet is done. Now let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first round ends with 8 stitches, which is correct. At the end of each round of crocheting, count the number of stitches to see if it is correct. Now we need to tighten the ring. Find the short yarn. Pull the yarn end on the short side and pull hard until there is no gap in the center of the circle. Then we started crocheting the second round. The second round is 6 increased stitches. Increasing stitches means crocheting to single crochet stitches in each stitch. Now we remove the stitch marker. Insert the crochet hook from the stitch where we just removed the stitch marker. Merge the yarn ends of the short sides into the crocheted fabric to hide it. Complete a single crochet stitch first. This is the first single crochet in the first group of increasing stitches. Remember to add a stitch marker to the first stitch of each round. This will make it easier for us to know where to start. Next, complete the second single crochet stitch in the first group of increasing stitches, still inserting the crochet needle in the stitch just now. Complete a single crochet stitch first. Yarn over and pull it out. This way, the first group of increasing stitches is completed. Next, complete the second increased stitch in the next stitch. Still do 2 single crochet stitches in 1 stitch. Use the same method to complete the next 5 increased stitches. Crocheting a few stitches. You can cut off the yarn at the beginning. The last stitch of the second round is completed. Checking the number of stitches at the end of each round can ensure that our subsequent crocheting can proceed smoothly. At the end of the second circle, there are 12 stitches. Now start the third round. The crochet method of the third round is 1 single crochet and 1 increased stitch as a group and repeated 6 times. First, crochet a single crochet in the first stitch. Then crochet an increasing stitch in the second stitch, that is, 2 single crochets. The first group 1 single crochet and 1 increasing stitch is completed. Continue to complete the remaining groups. The last stitch of the third round is completed. Remember that we have 18 stitches in total? Then comes the fourth round. The crochet method of the fourth round is 1 single crochet, 1 increased stitch, and 1 single crochets a group, and repeat 6 times. Crochet a single crochet in the first stitch. Then crochet an increasing stitch in the second stitch, that is, 2 single crochets. Third stitch is a single crochet. The first group 1 single crochet, 1 increasing stitch, and 1 single crochet is completed. Continue to complete the remaining groups. The last stitches of the fourth round is completed. Remember that we have 24 stitches in total. Now it is the rounds 5 to 9, is 24 single crochets. 1 stitch per stitch, no increase or decrease. The 9th round is completed. Next is round 10. The rule of this round is 1 single crochet stitches, 1 decreased, 1 single crochet stitches as a group. Repeat 6 times. First, a single crochet. Start to decrease stitches. Decentralized stitches means turning 2 stitches into 1 stitch. For aesthetics, we use invisible decreased stitches on the surface of the crocheted fabric and only use the front loop only to crochet. The front loop only is the side close to our body, the outside part of the V we see. The crochet hook goes into the first front loop only. Hook in, continue into the second front loop only. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, passes through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and pass through all the loops. A decreased stitch is done. Next is a single crochet. The first set 1 single crochet stitch, 1 decrease, 1 single crochet stitch is done. Use the same method to complete the next 5 groups. The 10th round is done. Next is the 11th round. Use 1 single crochet stitch, 1 decreased stitch as a group, repeated 6 times. First, a single crochet. Next is a decrease stitch. Pick up 2 front loops only and crochet yarn over. The first set is done. Use the same method to complete the next 5 groups. The 11th round is also done. It is great! Leave 20 centimeters of yarn waiting to be stitched. Cut the yarn. Use the crochet hook to pull the yarn out. Now you can add filling cotton. Take out our stuffing cotton and stuff it in small amounts and multiple times. Adjust while stuffing it in to keep the stuffing balanced, until its shape looks like a round bulge. Pinch it with your hands to keep a certain elasticity. It is time to end the body part. Take out the sewing needle and put on the yarn. Now let's close the ball. Still using the front loop only. Still using the front loop only. Pass the needle through each stitch in turn. Sewed a total of 6 stitches. Tension yarn. Don't cut the remaining yarn. We hide it in its body. Sew a few stitches along the needle. Tighten it at the end. The stitch is complete. Insert the needle from the center of the circle. Pull the yarn out from the side of the body. Repeat several times to fix the yarn. Cut the excess yarn close to the body. Pinch the body and adjust it, and the yarn end will not be visible. Great! Its main body is completed. Next, we will continue to complete its ears. We will use black yarn to demonstrate. Wrap the yarn around your fingers. We need to make a magic ring first. The method is the same as before. This is a starting stitch. The first round is a total of 6 single crochet hooks. Single crochet stitches are completed. Pull the yarn end on the short side and pull hard until there is no gap in the center of the circle. Then we started crocheting the second round. The crochet method of the is 1 single crochet and 1 increased stitch as a group, repeated 3 times. The second stitch is an increasing stitch. Continue to complete the 2 groups. At the end of the second round, there are 9 stitches. Now the piece is a little curled. Let's turn it over. The stitches for the 3TH round are 3 single crochet stitches, 1 increased stitches. For single crochet stitches, 1 increased stitches. At the end of the third round, there are 12 stitches. Leave 20 centimeters of yarn for stitching. Cut the yarn. Take out the sewing needle and put on the yarn. Make an invisible slip stitch at the end. Skip the first stitch and insert the needle in the next stitch. Tighten the yarn end and insert the needle from the half stitch of the last stitch just now. Pull the yarn flat so that there is no trace of sewing. One ear is done. Use the same method to make another ear. Now sew the ears to its head. Take out the sewing needle and put on the yarn. Counting from the top of the body, sew the ears on the position of the third, 7th rounds on both side parts. Find its position and insert the needle into the head from the edge. Remove the needle 1 stitches apart. Pull out the yarn. From the corresponding ear stitch, pass it up. Then insert the needle from the next stitch down and pass it into the head. That's it, all the way around the edge of the ears, around the head. After one round of sewing, don't cut the remaining yarn. We hide it in its body. Repeat several times to fix the yarn. Cut the excess yarn close to the body. Use the same method to sew the other ear. Now start crocheting the eye circles. Take out the blue yarn. We need to make a magic ring first. The method is the same as before. Crochet 8 single needles in the ring. Tighten the ring. This ring does not need to be closed too tightly. Leave a small gap in the middle to install the eyes at the back. Leave 15 centimeters of yarn for stitching. Cut the yarn. Take out the sewing needle and put on the yarn. Make a slip stitch. Insert the needle in the 5th stitch. Tighten the yarn end and insert the needle from the half stitch of the last stitch just now. Pull the yarn flat and adjust it. Stitch the starting short yarn into the fabric for a few stitches. Do this on the back side of the fabric. Tighten the yarn. Cut off the excess. Make the other one in the same way. Take out the safety eyes in our accessory bags. It has a spiral plug rod and a matching washer to fix it. Note that the eye is mounted on the opposite side of the fabric, the side with the horizontal line. Put the plug rod between the stitches. Put the washer in from the inside and buckle the plug rod. The eyes are done. Now sew the eyes to the head. Counting from the top of the body, sew the eyes on lines 5th, 7th rounds, spacing them 3 stitches apart. Put the needle through the yarn. Find its position and insert the needle into the head from the edge. Remove the needle 1 stitches apart. Pull out the yarn. From the corresponding eye stitch, pass it up. Find its position and insert the needle into the head. That's it, all the way around the edge of the eyes, around the head. Sew the remaining yarn into the body. with one side of the eye sewn in. And finish the others in the same way. Now let's sew the kitten's mouth. We put the white yarn through the sewing needle. Sew the mouth in the middle of row 8 rounds. Stitch in from the side and out from the side of the mouth, across the distance of 2 stitches. Leave a little bit of yarn for sewing and cut it. Tie a knot at the back of the 2 yarns, hiding the excess yarn. We'll crochet with black yarn and finish the kitten.